ASA. All right. So, basically what I'm looking for is the diagram and working GNS3 file. Do not use any routing protocols in this lab. Static routes only. Static routes only. You're not going to have very many. You're not going to have very many. No, right? Yeah. You have two devices. There's not really a need for a routing protocol. Okay. You're going to have a couple of static routes in the router. Pretty much a default route in the ASA, and that's about it. A simple access list on R1 to block RFC19 networks to the internet. To the internet. So filter them out. Two separate NATs for the DMZ server. The servers will be seen from the public side. Sorry. Don't go into Visio. Don't go into Visio. All right, from the outside, this means your outside interface. Public IP. They're actually IP on this subnet, the inside subnet, and your inside devices need to be able to see them as such from that private IP space. So you have two separate NAT statements for each server on the DMZ. Create a dynamic PAT address tied to your outside interface for the workstation network. You're going to set up a DHCP pool for the inside network. All DNS request traffic for your scope will be used. We'll use 4222 and ensure that the inside interface is the default gateway, which is 10.0.0.1. Now, write this down. Remember this. Don't forget this. You will lose points if you do this. Number 4, since it is asking you for a default gateway, excuse me, number 6, since it's asking you for a default gateway, you've got to set up a DHCP service on the firewall. That is different from setting up a DHCP pool when you set up your VPN. Now, what you did in Lab 3 will not work here in Lab 4. Okay? It will not. But, fortunately enough, if you do number 6 first, when you get to number 10, if you go through the wizard, all you gotta do is select the DHCP pool, you're done.
Professor,
Yep.
did you say DHCP service?
Server, yeah.
Server.
Sorry. When you select when you come to the DHCP pool screen on the wizard, you can just select the DHCP service.
Okay, got it.
Okay, username and passwords. Set up logging on the firewall and router to log 10.0.0.10. Nothing you haven't done before. Create your access list on your firewall. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with these 6 different steps. Be careful because that is outside to inside, outside to inside. I'm sorry, outside the DMZ, outside the DMZ, outside the DMZ. DMZ to inside.
All this can be done on the firewall.
Yeah, it's all done on the firewall. It all has to be done on the firewall. See that? Firewall. You have an access list for number 8 on the router. You are wrong. You are wrong. You do create an access list on the router here in number 3. That's different. But you're creating 2 access lists and applying them to 2 different interfaces based on this criteria in number 8. That's 2 access lists. So I see 1 access list. Oh, you're going to lose points. Okay? Number 9 is where I get a lot of people in this lab. I get a lot of people in this lab, number 9. Because I expect a lot. You've been through 3 labs now. Alright? What's one thing that would fall under number 9 that you've done previously? Anybody?
Service, password, encryption.
Service password encryption. What's another one? Disable CDP. What's another one? Huh? No exec on your aux port. What else? You guys get the picture? All those best practices that we've been doing. Okay? We will lose points on number 9 if they're not done. Okay? You will lose points. If you already lost points, now actually a lot of you have been doing really, really good with this portion, device hardening on labs 1 and 2, especially. I haven't really seen lab 3 yet. But on labs 1 and 2, and even on the first test, you did a really good job on device hardening. So I don't think or expect very many people to lose points on number 9. All right, last but not least, set up a remote access VPN from the outside, like what you did in lab 3, for your administrator user to get to both the DMZ network and the inside network. Both the DMZ network and the inside network. Okay. Now, you can do this through the CLI if you so desire, but you're absolutely within your right to set up ASDM. Now, notice, I don't say anywhere in here to set up ASDM, do I? Nope, I don't. I'm not going to check for ASDM. If you do not have the ASDM commands in your firewall, you're not going to lose any points. You're not going to get graded on that. But if you so desire to set up this VPN through the command line and try to figure out all the code that has to go into it, or if you set up ASDM and go through the wizard, either way is correct. You can do this in either fashion and get all 10 points for number 10. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for your pre-shared key, which hopefully you guys know should be Cisco. Alright? And I'm going to ask for your PCF file. Your PCF file gets created when you create your VPN connection. You go through the VPN client, you set up new, you go give it the name, the password. I'm going to ask for that PCF file. So you guys email that to me. It's only like 5 or 6 bits. Alright? Not that hard. You're going to send me that. You're going to send me your GNS3 config. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to VPN into the ASA. And if I get a connection, I'll go, okay, great. I'm going to ping a couple of IP addresses. Basically the IP addresses of your the inside of your ASA and the DMZ IP address of your ASA. If I can ping both those addresses, number 10 is done, you get 10 points. Alright? and I'm going to start looking at other things. I'm going to try to bring up the HTTP service on the router. I'm going to try to connect via CDP. I'm going to try to I may connect to ASDM if you have ASDM and use the packet tracer command. If you don't, I'll go into the command line of your ASA. I'm going to do packet tracer commands to test your ACLs. Okay? Yeah, you can do that. Okay? It has the ASA has a packet tracer functionality. I'll show you this Thursday. Has a packet tracer functionality where I can set the source IP address, the destination IP address, protocols, and I can send packets through the ASA engine just like it was coming in one interface and going out another interface. And I can test your NAT that way. I can test your ACLs that way. So that's how I'm going to test a lot of this lab very quickly. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to script all this into a WordPad, and I'm going to hit copy and paste, and we'll look for the output. Alright, and I'll be able to grade everybody's lab a lot faster. Okay? Do I have any questions at this point in time on Lab 4?
No.
Look it over, digest it. If you don't have questions now, that's fine. If you come back with questions on Thursday, that's absolutely fine. Alright? But I want to ask the same thing on Thursday. Do you have any questions on Lab 4? Alright? If you do, bring them up. Because your question may be related to somebody else's question who's too shy to ask it. Yeah?
Which is due when?
End of term. End of term. Okay? When I give out the final, which is going to be very similar to Lab 4. Okay? Very similar to Lab 4. It's going to be due that length. Okay. So, I don't have any other questions. Yes, sir?
I had a question on Lab 3.
I was just kidding.
Okay.
Let me ask you any other questions on Lab 4. Good. Then, are there any questions on Lab 3?
How do I turn it in? There's no like config file I can find.
You can say the GNS. Actually, I was actually going to come around and look at them and check them off tonight and Thursday night. If you're done, you're ready. You can read them that way. You can also save your GNS3 project. And actually, I did all of Lab 3. So you go to wherever you have your file.
What are your username?
Users.
GNS3.
Projects. Okay. So I think, if I'm not too mistaken, if you take this project file here and you just archive it, please send it to me as a zip. The entire project file. So name, lab 3 .zip will be completely acceptable. Right. Comes out as, wow, it comes out as 21 meg. Oh, you have a virtual machine in there, yeah. Well, that's going to eat up all of my email today. No, what I'm thinking about doing is dropping in and making a Dropbox for the class.
If you do show run, you just copy that config as well.
to see the lab though. And I gotta do this for lab 4 anyway. So let me do this. Think about this real fast. Yeah, but can you turn in like negs and negs and negs of files on Blackboard?
I think there's a limit.
I don't know what the limit is actually.
You should try.
You can try to upload that.
Yeah, that's just for me though. Then when we get like 40 something other people in there, I'm gonna get emails like, you know, from student number 16, I can't upload my file.
They're late.
Nope.
Email file or no, limit of 20 megabytes. 20, 25. I'm cutting it close. Wait, what were you guys?
Uploading 25
That would take like 1 second.
Oh my god. Hold on.
Yeah.
What if I do the camera scanner?
It looks like megabytes.
Just reset.
Let me ask you.
Or just.
What? Let me ask you.
It was always an email saying like if you're driving.
Me probably should have gone Is he still there? I mean, I could just. He doesn't have a scanner. I'll just scan it right now. Because then he's gonna be like, oh, use the camera to scan, blah, blah, blah.
Doesn't work.
Lucas, what did you just say about lab 6? Lab 6. Lab 6. What?
Lab 6.
You messaged me something.
Did you guys do the scan yet? It works.
I'm like,
It worked?
yeah,
But I don't know how to ping anything. Like, you can find it works. It says connected. How did it work? You just kept trying it.
Wait, what IP address did you use?
It's the 10.
10. Is it 172?
I already
get
made a
outside.
mistake.
You think you're pinging
So
the
it's 10.20 to 10.2? Yeah. I already tried this.
Can I have to open up Genesis?
Yeah. When you VPN